lovies, Maria Delia here with a new video for you guys. Today I'm going to be going over my everyday makeup look as well as a little bit of a chit chat. Today the subject of choice is going to be New Year's resolutions. Like, do we set some? Do we not? What are we doing? I don't know. 2020 didn't necessarily go the way everyone expected, but like, is it even worth setting some resolutions for 2021? I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna figure it out. I don't know. Yeah, so let's get into that. Again, this makeup is more of like my everyday, maybe going to brunch, maybe like going for a walk downtown, or you know, just exploring the city, whatever. This is that look for me. It does have like a little of like glam, but not too much, I promise. I'm pretty basic for the most part, so if you're interested, stay tuned. All right, so we're starting off with a fresh face. I do already have like my moisturizer and all that jazz on my face. If you are interested in what that even is or what I do to moisturize the face, check out my skincare video. I'll probably like put a card up somewhere. But before I do the face, I do start off with a primer. And just disclaimer, guys, my nails are not done. Do not do me, okay? I know I should probably keep them done up, but quarantine has done a number on me. All right, so I'm starting off with a primer. I'm going in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. This is kind of, it's okay primer, but I don't put like foundation on my face unless I at least have some type of primer on there. And with it being like the wintry months, colder kind of months, I will go in with something hydrating before putting on my foundation, just because I tend to have kind of like a dry combination skin, especially in this area. Like, I'll start cracking. So primer. So I'll just do this all over my problem areas. I saw a video one day where you don't normally have to put primer everywhere. Just put primer in the areas that you feel like your face or your skin will benefit. So that's pretty much what I will do, especially because I already have moisturizer on my face already. Anyway, as I am rubbing this in, New Year's resolutions, are we setting them? Should we set them? Is it worth it? You know what, I'm just gonna tie this hair up. All right, so now that my hair is pulled back, it's a little bit easier to do this with the hair pulled Z back. Anyhow, I was talking about New Year's resolutions, I think. Should we set them? Should we not? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a planner, so for me to start any year without a plan is kind of really obnoxious. So I am going to, but I will say 2020 definitely did give me a scare and kind of maybe take a step back and kind of realize, like, maybe you can't plan everything. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen in life, and that's definitely what 2020 did for us. It definitely put some things into perspective, but in saying that, I think maybe what 2020 taught me was that perhaps the goals that I should be setting are more like internal and more fruitful for my mental and just my heart and my soul altogether. And so that's kind of like what I have kind of been thinking about when it comes to New Year's resolutions for 2021. Yeah, I mean, I'll always have like my career goals, and I'll have those kind of like lined up, you know what I mean? Like my kind of 6-month career goal, yearly career goal, 5-year career goal. Like, I'll still have those things into play just because I am super type A. But I think I'm going to focus more on, you know, what's inside here, and just learning to deal with everyday struggle of anxiety, and just doing better with that in 2021. I mean, that's just a thought. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. This is supposed to be a makeup tutorial. Okay, so after I put in the primer, I'm gonna go in obviously with my foundations. And I say foundations because it's really hard for me to find like a match for my skin color. And then with with it being wintertime, the sun isn't out as much, so I do get a little paler. I'm sure everyone kind of goes through that. So I have like my two go-tos that I usually mix, and depending on what my skin is doing, the color, I will either add more of the darker one or add more of the lighter one that I use, which is my Clinique. And I don't know if, ooh, we want to auto focus today better. Awesome. So this is my Clinique Even Better in the shade Butterscotch, just for reference. And then if I'm feeling more on the darker side, I will go in with my L'Oreal Paris True Match. This is the shade Golden Beige. This was like they came out with like a bunch of shades. I feel like trying to dupe the Fenty shades that Rihanna came out with for her makeup line, but they ended up adding like this new shade that was like a medium between like their warm and their cool, because I'm not like, I don't have yellow undertones, but I don't necessarily have like pink undertones. It's like really weird, so sometimes it's hard for me to find a shade that matches. Today I think I'm going to be going in more with the Clinique, just because again, I am a little bit more on the paler side nowadays, and I've just noticed whenever I use too much of the dark one, it just doesn't do me justice. I start looking really orange and I ain't like it. So yeah, so I'm just going to take some of the Clinique. Why is it working so hard? All right, yeah, I don't really know what that was about, but my thing wouldn't open for some reason. Anyway, I will kind of put some of the Clinique foundation on my back of my hand. Take about this much. Can we focus on, yeah. I'll take about that much of my Clinique first, and then I'll add a little bit of the other foundation. But again, like I said, I'm not going to use as much of the darker foundation from L'Oreal, just because I'm not too much of this color right now. Again, just so much added of that. And then I'll just mix it together with my hand. Alright, so now that I've mixed it, I will then apply it to my face. Like so. And my eyebrows are pretty much already done. I did that off of camera. And then next I'm going in with my beauty blender. This is the new e.l.f.'s complexion sponge. I like it. I used to use the, you know, the real beauty blender, but I like what this one does for my face. Okay, so yeah, New Year's resolutions, right? I think like something big to take from this year is like things that happened in the past, leave it in the past. Because I don't know if it was just me, but I feel like a lot of people got hit up by their exes in 2020. And I feel like that was on purpose, because everyone's in quarantine and they like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. Can we like normalize not even talking to our exes in 2021? Because that was a whole thing. Okay? They were a lot for me. At least I know for me, it's like if we ended, it was probably for a reason. So it didn't just magically disappear because we entered a new year, or because we're just in quarantine. Like, you're probably still. All right, so I only use like a little layer of foundation, and that's just because, again, this is like my everyday no makeup look. I don't go heavy with the foundation when I am aiming for that type of look. Now, if I was looking for more of a glam, then I would of course do that, but I'm not. So that is how much foundation I would normally use. And then I would then go in with a concealer. Why am I going blank? I would then go in with my concealer, and the concealer that I will be using is the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. All this stuff is pretty much affordable, if you're wondering, so I won't say anything. I think what the most expensive thing that I am going to talk about was maybe the powder that I used in the end, but for the most part, everything's pretty affordable, if you're wondering. So yeah, I just go in with this concealer. She is ugly, do not judge. Just look at this mirror. And I just do like a little triangle. And I will let this kind of sit for just a little while, because I noticed when I let this concealer kind of dry a little bit, it kind of gives me a little bit more coverage. I'll probably go in with another layer of the concealer, but for now we're just going to do that. Yeah. Oh, I know one thing that I want to normalize in 2021, or at least I want to set for going forward into 2021 for my New Year's resolutions. Can we normalize taking our best friends or our friends in general on dates? Like, why do we have to date, like go out to dinner with our boos or babes all the time? Like, it's nice just to kind of like entertain the fact of like, hey girl, come on, I want to take you out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner. And then like you guys just have a great time eating, you know what I mean, at a place you guys have never ate before, and just trying different things, trying different foods, and having like a beverage or two, and just kind of having some good old girl time. Like, can we normalize that in 2021? Because I will tell you, 2020 for me, like having to stay home so much has like, and I do love it, by the way, just because I am a Taurus. I kind of love being a homebody, so it's fine. But when I do crave the social connection, it's more so like, you know what, I should be taking my friends out to dinner more often. Like, we shouldn't only be linking for brunches or, you know, to party, all that stuff. Maybe we should spend more time just, you know, with general like conversation, inviting them over to cook. And I don't know, it just kind of like 2020 for me, or quarantine for me, basically brought out a lot of just kind of like, I don't know, more of me wanting to be intimate with my friends. And I think that that's important going into 2021, because truthfully, like, your friends, they are a big part of your life, just like your family, at least for me. So that's something I want to normalize going into 2021. So yeah, I'm taking the beauty blender, and this time, or this sponge I'm taking from e.l.f., I'm going to take the kind of like the flat edges to go over or underneath my eye, which is why I like this sponge, because like it has like the angled kind of thing going on. And you see how that just kind of like melts into the face now that I've let it kind of like sit in. That's what I like. I like for it, because I hate when people have too bright of an under eye. I don't really like that. I like for stuff to look natural, even if I am glam. For me, like, glam is like having a natural beat of a face, and then your eyes are just boom. For me. I know that's not like an everybody thing. Yeah. I want to get a little closer so you guys can see how that blended out. Okay. And then I want to take the bottom to kind of do the middle and then the chin. Like very subtle, very, very subtle concealing. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna want to go in with another layer just because I feel like that wasn't enough. I had a feeling I was going to want to. I'm just gonna bring it down just a little bit. After this, I'm gonna go in with my powder underneath my eye. And I'm gonna do this part pretty quickly, so I probably won't say anything while I do it, just because I don't want it to crease. And that's the trick if you have creasing underneath the eyes. That's something that you could do. Just kind of make sure to quickly put on the setting powder immediately after you do your concealer. Oh yes, baby. Okay. And to apply my powder, I'll show you guys what powder I actually use. But for this part, but to apply the powder, I'm going to be using a brush. I saw Arnell Ramon say that on her YouTube that setting underneath your eyes with a brush makes a tremendous difference. And I tried it and she knew what she was talking about. I'll then go in with the powder. The rest of my face. So I know most people use a sponge to this part. I don't like using a sponge. I prefer to use this. And plus it came with the powder. So this is what I do. I'm gonna just do it in my problem areas around my mouth. Kind of brighten it up just a little bit. And I kind of like this powder because it is a little lighter, on the lighter side. And I have hyperpigmentation around my mouth, so using a lighter powder for me kind of lightens it up, as well as underneath the eye. So I'll only apply this powder to like the areas where I feel like I'm gonna get really oily, or I can see myself creasing. So that's what I'll do. So that was for me underneath the eyes, kind of here a little bit, and then also around the mouth. And I did not tell you guys what powder I'm using, but it's just the Airspun. Like I said, everything that I use is going to be very affordable. This is like my everyday makeup look. I'm not, you know, doing the most. I'm just chilling, and that's all that is. So then I'll let the powder kind of set in, do that, do what it does for a little bit. Not for very long. I don't really like to bake for very long. I know for some people that's kind of like their thing, but not for me. And then I will take this little kind of like powder brush. She's dirty, do not judge me. How much came off that? I don't even know. But then I'll just go through and kind of like brush off the remaining powder. Yes, I like it. Next, I'm going in with my NYX matte bronzer. Usually in the winter, I will go ahead and try to do like some of like a cream contour, but because we're not really doing much, and this is like my everyday no makeup look, this isn't too much of a glam, I'm going to be using a powder bronzer. And this is like more of a neutral kind of color. It's nothing it's not too cool, not too warm. This is the medium matte bronzer by NYX. Again, she's ugly, do not judge me, but that's what I will be using. And to apply this, I'm just going to take my Morphe E58, I think this is what it is. I don't know, the number's kind of like rubbing off, but I got this a long time ago. So this is what I'll be going in with this brush. It's kind of angled, kind of. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so now that I think I am about bronzed out, I don't like how some areas are just not blended as well. So what I'll do is I'll go in with my complexion brush that I got from Eco Tools. I really like this brush because I feel like if you're ever like not liking the complexion that you're seeing with your makeup, sometimes you just need to blend that baby out, girl. Looking at pretty skin like just the way I like it, and just the way I like it. Okay, and so then next I will go ahead and just do like my eyelash or my eyebrows. Not eyebrows, honey. Child, why I can't talk. I will go ahead and just do my eyelids. And so for my eyelids, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I'll just take about just a teensy tiny little bit. Okay, yeah, so New Year's resolutions. What else would I be doing? I don't know. After normalizing, you know, just kind of like putting more effort into my friendships, I would have to say, and kind of leaving what's in the past, I would have to say, what would I say? Oh, I know. I kind of love like the whole like kind of weekly check-in thing. It's something that I recently started doing because sometimes, you know, life just kind of gets away from us, you know, and we're kind of just like, at what point did I start feeling terrible? At what point did I start to get grumpy, you know? At what point? And it's just like, well, if you're doing a weekly check-in, you would know. And so yeah, so that's something that I started implementing. I think I will take that with me into 2021. Another thing that I will probably take into 2021 is some type of financial goal. I feel like those are good too, good to have. Like, see, these are, so that's what I mean about like setting intentions and setting, you know, New Year's resolutions for 2021, because like, yes, 2020 went, you know, crappy, but then also there are certain things that you should have in play, and your money, having good relationships, you know, having a good mental health, all those things should be in play whether or not, you know, everything else around you is going crappy or not. Like those things, that grounding, you know what I mean, is necessary. So for me, having a bigger financial goal, because I do have a financial goal, but I will say 2020 has taught me like, girl, aim for the stars. What you doing? Like, no, I mean, that was cute having, you know what I mean, having that goal to save for the year, but maybe let's throw in some stocks. Let's go crazy. Let's have a goal for the number of stocks that you want to own by the end of 2021, or let's have a goal for investing in 2021. Let's map that out and see what it looks like. And so that's what I'm thinking I will do for 2021 for sure. And I feel like I didn't even tell y'all what I was putting on my eyes, but I'm just using this brown kind of like neutral color to go on my outer corner here. And it's from Rimmel London, some like really kind of like cheap, again, everything on this is affordable, eyeshadow palette that I got. And then on the inner corner, I'll just do something a little lighter. This is like a natural brown. Like I said, I went in with this here. And then I think what I'll do next is I'll probably do something gold. Maybe even this. Let's do this. Like I said, every day, but like a little bit of glam. I'll do that next in the inner corner. For me, like I like starting out on the outer corner first. And then going in with like something like shiny or light in the inner corner. I just like what it does because I feel like my eyes, I haven't quite like figured out how to, like the shape of my eye. And I always feel like whenever I don't, if I do the inner corner first, I just look like a clown, and I don't really want to look that way. I mean, but who does, right? I'm so corny. I don't like that. And then that happens too. Sometimes you do things and you're like, that was cute. That was cute, but that's not it. Let's not do that. So I'm gonna go in with the more goldy color. That was on the palette. Oh, yeah, that's better. And then it just like blends into the brown. Yeah, I like it. And just to cover what I did, I went in first with that on the corner, and then I did this ultimately and then the inner corner, and then I did that again on top of this, even more so in the inner corner, just to give it like a little bit more of a pop. All right, so that's about it for the eyes for me as far as eyeshadow goes. I'm now going to go in with my blush. It'll kind of like tie in the eyes. And then for the blush, I am going to go ahead and use the same brush that I used the bronzer with. I like doing that because I feel like it helps kind of like blend with the bronzer that you use, kind of like help give it kind of like a nice little mix. So I like doing that. Y'all, I am so upset. My camera stopped recording, and I didn't even know that it stopped recording. Anyway, I hope you guys saw how I did my eyelash or my eyes, you know, in general. The only thing that I've done now since my camera, I'm just so mad because I've done so much. The only thing that I've done, one of the only things that I've done is I've used my Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara, and I basically went through and put mascara on the eyes. This is how the eyes are looking, and then I did go ahead and use my Sephora Sephora Microsmooth powder, and I just basically went through my entire face. And for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it again, just because, oh, I cannot believe it did that. I'm so upset, but whatever, it's life, you move on. And that's another thing, New Year's resolutions. Delia will be moving with the punches going forward and stop having so many meltdowns. Anyway, anybody's goal, right? And so yeah, I just basically went through my entire face with this, especially, or not especially, except for underneath the eyes, kind of will not go there. And then you kind of see like what that does. It kind of like brings everything together. The first powder that I used was more so like, it's like translucent, but the Microsmooth by Sephora is more like, you get it more of your tone. And the tone that I got is tan. Now this color is a little bit lighter for me. I feel like there's another, I think Maybelline Fit Me that I use that's a little bit more darker and it's a little bit more true to my skin. But this one also does the job. We ain't going nowhere. Again, this is like an everyday kind of look. Now, darn it, I'm so mad that it stopped recording. I'm so upset. Because we got into some things like anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Another one of my New Year's resolutions that I kind of wanted to add was like 2020 kind of like made us kind of like take a pause and a step back and kind of just be like, hey yo, like I know you're in quarantine, but you can still keep yourself up. So it kind of like turned into a lot of like DIYs. And it's like, for me, it was like, DIYs are not new to you. You are very big on DIYs. So why haven't you been doing them more often? And so like, what I mean by DIYs is like, I used to do my own eyelashes, and not just like the strip lashes. I used to do like the little clusters. I used to put those on I used to do like my own nails. Now granted, not like acrylic or anything, but I used to like give myself my own manicures, file them down, all that stuff, paint it up, all that stuff. And so like with us being in quarantine, it kind of like forced a lot of us to like learn how to do those things. And for me, it was more of like, oh my God, I'm coming back home. You know, it was good just to kind of remember old passions, old hobbies, if you will. So, and then not only that, like you save so much money, because I used to get individuals on a regular, like every month, $200, no problem, cool, whatever. And it's like, girl, you forgot you could do your own lashes? Like, come on. Sorry, y'all. Do that. Go do your own lashes. And now that I have like started doing them, I don't have any on now. I just put on the Better Than Sex mascara, which I love. Don't get me wrong, because this does add like a lot of length to my lashes because I have very short lashes, but I don't know, it's just, anyway, that's one of my New Year's resolutions, just implementing more of my DIY kind of like attitude to everything. And I know it's driving my friends nuts because they're just like, Delia, just pay for it. And I'm just like, but why? But why? Anyway, after I've added the Microsmooth powder, I will then go in with my setting spray. And I do this before I put on my lipstick, and I'll show you guys what that combo is going to look like. But for the setting spray, I will be using the Milani Make It Last Matte. Again, like I said, everything that I'm using is very, very affordable. Very affordable. So yeah, I'm going to go in with that next. Oh, spraying yourself like while on camera is kind of weird. Okay, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my sponge, which is still kind of damp from everything, and kind of just bring everything in. Yeah, okay. And then I'll go in with my lip combo. And I feel like the lip combo just kind of like brings everything. It's like, okay, she was just, you know, regular degular skin like. But this, it does something. Before my camera cuts off again, I am going to wipe off my lip gloss. And then I will be going in with my Film Noir, which I can't seem to find now again, on the lips. And I'm just gonna do this on the outer corners, mainly on the bottom lip. And this is Film Noir by MAC. I don't know if I said that. And then next, I'm just gonna smooth that out. It's kind of going to give me like the ombre effect when I do it this way. And then the next thing I'm going to do is going with the NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss. And what color is this? Natural. LG 122. I'm just going to put it on the middle. And this is more of like a light pinky color, but it helps give you like that nude ombre type effect. And so yeah, that is it. We are basically done. I'm just gonna let my hair down. And yeah, so this is the final look. I really like it. And if you know you guys like this type of thing, please do let me know down below. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed and at least learned some things, some tips and tricks as far as makeup, and or just something to look forward to as far as setting your New Year's resolutions. And yeah, in the meantime, until next time, peace.